Real-life story. Sidra, the silent battle. Sidra's life had never been easy. She grew up in a tiny, broken house where poverty wasn't just a condition, it was a daily routine. Her father worked in a private mill, earning a small salary that barely covered rent, food, and medicines. Her mother stitched clothes at home, trying her best to support the family. And in the middle of all these responsibilities was Sidra, a little girl forced to grow up long before her age. Her mornings never started with joy or excitement. They started with duties. Before school, she helped her mother fill water, cleaned the small courtyard, and prepared her younger brothers for their classes. Breakfast was usually a cup of tea, no bread, no eggs. And then she rushed to school with old books and a worn-out uniform. At school, life wasn't any kinder. When her fee wasn't paid on time, the principal called her out in front of the class. Sometimes she was made to stand outside the room. She felt embarrassed, but she never complained. She knew poverty wasn't her mistake, but still, it hurt her little heart every time. But one thing made her different from everyone else. Sidra had a dream to change her life and her family's future. She studied late into the night, sitting under a small dim bulb. She didn't have a tutor, no guidebook, no fancy notebooks, just determination. And when her matric exam results came out, she topped her area. The entire neighborhood congratulated her. For the first time, she felt proud of herself. But happiness was short-lived. Where would the college fee come from? Her father tried his best but couldn't arrange it. Her mother cried quietly at night, worried that Sidra's education might end here. That night, Sidra sat beside her mother, held her hands gently, and said, "Ami, I won't give up. If life is hard, we will work harder." That was the moment when Sidra's real battle began. She started giving tuitions on the rooftop of her house. At first, only 4 children came. Then 8. Then 10. Slowly she earned just enough to pay her college fees. But balancing life became difficult. College in the morning, housework in the afternoon, and tuition classes in the evening. She was exhausted. Some nights she cried silently. But she never stopped. She completed college with excellent marks and dreamed of getting into a government university. But once again, books were too expensive. So she borrowed second-hand books from a senior student and prepared for the entry test. She studied like her entire life depended on it. Because it truly did. And then, one day, the result was announced. Sidra had passed. She got admission into a government university. When she came home with the admission letter, she hugged her mother tightly and said, "Ami, this is the first step towards a new life." University life was not easy either. While other students carried expensive phones, stylish bags, and wore new clothes every week, Sidra used the same 2 outfits for months. She sat in the front row not because she wanted attention, but because she wanted to focus. She spent hours in the library because she couldn't afford extra books. She wasn't jealous of anyone. She just wanted to build her own life. In her 3rd year, life struck again. Her father's illness became worse. They needed medicines every week, expensive ones. Once again, Sidra stepped forward. She took a part-time job in the university library, organized books, helped teachers in small projects, and saved every rupee she could. It was hard, but her courage was harder. Finally, after 4 long, difficult years, Sidra graduated. She stood on the stage wearing a black gown and holding her degree. Tears rolled down her mother's face, tears of pride, joy, and relief. Sidra had done something extraordinary. Then began the job hunt. Weeks passed. Months passed. But Sidra didn't lose hope. And then, her life changed. She received a call from a reputed company. After 2 interviews, she got selected. When she received her first salary, she didn't buy anything for herself. She went straight to the medical store and bought her father's medicines for an entire month. Then she bought 2 new dresses for her mother. Today, Sidra is the backbone of her family. She pays the bills, buys the groceries, supports her siblings' education, and ensures her parents live comfortably. The girl who once stood outside her classroom because the fee was not paid is now the reason her family sleeps peacefully. Sidra's story teaches us that Life may be unfair. Life may be cruel. But if you have courage, patience, and faith, no hardship can stop you. Poverty does not break people. It reveals who they truly are. Sidra fought her battles silently. She never blamed her fate, never stopped dreaming, and never stopped trying. And today, she stands tall, not because she had an easy life, but because she chose not to give up. This is not just the story of a girl. This is the story of every person who dares to fight. Every person who rises from nothing. And every person who believes. Hard work may be slow, but it never goes waste. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your valuable comment. Your support encourages me to create more content. Thank you.